Agent Carter, Episode 7, Snafu. This is the penultimate episode for the season. We got this actual season finale coming up Tuesday. I'm like really far behind, so it's Sunday right now for me. I love this episode. It was a great episode leading up to the season finale. We had a lot of really great stuff happening. I mean, it threw us some pretty big curveballs, especially towards the end. I mean, I didn't expect to lose Chief Dooley in this episode because we already lost a character. I believe it was like 3 episodes in, we lost Krasinski. And, I didn't expect to lose like any of the other characters in the series. I thought it was going to be, will they, won't they type of thing, and, they wouldn't. But I didn't expect to have a type of moment where, it was kind of definitive. It was like, they had no idea what to do, and there was really no solution. And by the end, he had to sacrifice himself to save everyone else. And it was, it sucked that he had to go, but I think it was a pretty cool way for him, for his character to kind of go out since he had to. He wasn't kind of just killed off like Krasinski. He did it, and he kind of sacrificed himself to save everyone. And he kind of gave like his parting words, and even to Peggy, he was like, promise that you'll be the one to get the son of a bitch that did this. So I actually thought that was really cool. And just through the whole episode, it was like, I'm not sure how things are going to play out. Like in the preview, there are a couple of big scenes that we got. One was Chief Dooley like pulling the gun on Peggy and Jarvis. And, during that scene, like when the chief went to talk to them, I was like, we can't talk here because there are ears everywhere. I was initially thinking like he knew that he was kind of being mind controlled, so he just kind of played along. That's what I was hoping was going to happen, because even during that, I thought he was going to break out of it and stuff, and I was like, it made me think like he's going to be like super badass in this. And I was really excited. I was like, yes, he knew what was happening, but he played along, and he was going to tell Peggy, like, I believe you now, because he tried to mind control me. And then once they got in the room, I was like, ah, crap, I forgot about that scene from the preview. And I was like, he was under complete control. And it went way worse because, like I said, I didn't expect the chief to actually get put into the suit that would end up killing him. I thought it would just be, he was under mind control. And I was surprised when him being at the house was like an illusion, because the guy told him, like, go home. And I thought he was kind of done with the mental portion of things. It was just like he was going to actually leave and go home. And I thought that was going to happen, and he would eventually snap out of it, but he would kind of just be like gone for the rest of the episode, at least as far as the SSR was concerned. They'd be like, where the heck is the chief? And, unfortunately it turned out that he was still there. He was knocked out and had the suit on, so he unfortunately died at the end of this episode. But going all the way through it and leading up to that moment, and them, kind of going back and forth, and Peggy having to try to protect her own identity and tell them, like, I didn't do anything illegal. I thought it was great. It was cool watching her have to defend herself from, the people that she works with, or at least, like, the 3 people that we know of. And, her saying, like, I'm nothing more than the image that you've created for me, and how you see me this way and that way. And then when Jarvis comes in to try to give her some extra time and give them an out to actually find Dottie, it was really cool when she's like, all right, things are getting messed up. The doctor's actually in on this. He's, working for Leviathan. And she gives them, like, all the information, and they bring up the fact that she was doing this investigation. I loved her response to that, because it was great. It was like, I was able to do this not because I'm, like, a better agent than any of you are. It's just because you kind of treat me like crap. I'm invisible to you. No one really talks to me or listens to me. And unless I have this, or this, it's like I just don't matter. I'm here just to do these couple of minor things. So I have the free time, really. I can do all these secret little investigations because no one gives a crap about me. So no one, pays that much attention. I thought that was a great response. And I loved the reaction from the characters, because it was like, they knew it was true, because they always say, like, get lunch, or, to get this little note, to get this file or something. So they knew she wasn't lying. She wasn't just making that crap up. She was telling the truth. And I just love, that entire moment. I thought was really well done. It was like, she just told them the truth, and that's exactly what happened. And they knew instantly, like, yep, that's exactly how it's been, the entire time she's been here. So I love that scene. I thought it was really well done. Jarvis was good in this episode, especially when he was kind of freaking out about the confession and stuff. Like, I really panicked. I tried to call Howard a bunch of times, And so I got panicked on top of my panic, and then I panicked and made up a fake confession. So I liked that little scene. And then when they were locked up, I thought that was a really funny scene too. And he was freaking out, like, if there are people behind it, they get hit with glass, or if there are people and they have guns, then we get hit with bullets. And then even after they broke it, it was like, we're just tied to this. We're still handcuffed to this table. So breaking this window really didn't help anybody do anything. And I just love that scene. It was really funny. But that was really cool getting to see, I guess, Dottie kind of do her thing when she got busted and she had to take on Sousa. And she's like dropping down the steps like a ninja or something. And of course, I knew she was going to take the one guy out because he was a nameless random cop. I'm like, he's dead. Like, he's going to die. Even though he has the drop on her, he could have just like shot her in the leg. Because I think that like every time I watch TV, when someone is like super amazing, they're beating up a bunch of people, I'm like, just shoot them in the leg. Like, I know they have to get info, so you can't just like shoot people in the head and just kill them off because you lose all that information. But it's like, just shoot somebody in the stomach or like something. Like, as a cop, well, I guess back then it would be a whole lot different. But it's like, you got to know some vital things, and like, I can aim here and there and it won't kill the person or wound them so much we have to take them to the hospital first. It's like, it'll be bad, but we can just clean that up in the actual office or something. And it was just like, he stood there and she smiled. I'm like, yep, he's done for. And he had a bullet in his head, so I don't know how the heck that played out for him. But it was great to see her character actually interact with the cops, and they, it was a great moment where everyone, they dealt with two fronts. Like, Chief Dooley, unfortunately, dealt with it in a different way, being under mind control. But, the rest of them, they actually dealt with the agent and stuff like that. So it kind of cleared Peggy and Jarvis, and, as well as Howard. And it's like, obviously, crappy stuff is going on. Leviathan kind of has us. And, even by the end of this episode, they still have a one-up on them. I mean, Chief Dooley gets killed off, and they get away with the weapon. They even test the weapon at the end, which, honestly, if this wasn't a Marvel series, I would have... The first thing I was thinking was, like, it would be, like, a sort of weird blend between, like, some Joker laughing gas and, like, some fear toxin from Batman and stuff like that. That's what was in my head, is, like, a weird rage gas. And that's not what I thought at all. I was like, okay, she's going to let some gas out. It's going to, like, kill some people off. And, because it's Howard Stark's, it'll look weird. It'll be a weird thing. I didn't think it would, like, push people into like a crazy rage mode, which of course makes me think of the Hulk. But like, they all went nuts and just killed each other off. So obviously it works, and they're gonna find that out either through the news or just going back to the theater. But I'm excited. I mean, the next episode is going to be the last episode this season. I haven't really looked up anything as to whether or not we're going to get a season 2. I hope we do, because it's a great show. I think across the board, I think everyone kind of loves it. And if it's stuck to this sort of 8-episode platform where it's like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. goes off, and then we get this like between, or like in the middle of the season until Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. comes back, I think we'll do great. It's a nice way to do a concise story. You can't really have any filler. Like, the only filler stuff really is just getting to know the characters and them doing like normal stuff, but it's not filler because it's only 8 episodes long, so you have to have something in there where we get to see the characters just do normal everyday things. So it all works out. There's no real filler. It's just more character development and then main, plot points. So I think it's a great structure for the series. I wouldn't mind if it was a little bit longer. It wouldn't have to be like, as long as Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or anything where it's like 20 episodes. But if it went from like 8 to 12, I don't think that would be too much of a huge stretch if it was just, a couple extra episodes. But I love this one. Of course, I want to know what you guys thought about it. So please comment below. Let me know your favorite parts, your least favorite parts. And what do you want to see in the season finale? Because, based on the preview, Howard, of course, comes back. The SSR knows that he is actually innocent, so they're going to be working with him, and Peggy and Jarvis obviously have kind of cleared their names based off of this episode. So they're going to be working with him. I saw in the preview they had like the little press conference to try to draw Leviathan out a little bit. So, I'm not 100% sure what to expect. I think the big thing I'm curious about is how exactly is it going to end? Like, will it be sort of a definitive ending, or will they do it with sort of a cliffhanger where it could lead into like a season 2? Because, like I said, I think it's a great show. I would love a season 2. But they knew going in this was just 8 episodes, so it would kind of have to be like semi open ended at least, because we know that she kind of goes on to do great things for the SSR and then eventually form Shield, which would obviously be a great next step for this series. Maybe not exactly in season 2 because that would be really fast, but if this did go on, for a couple years, they could draw it out into that where the SSR does, excuse me, does grow and actually become Shield and stuff like that. But I want to know what you guys want to see in this season finale, so please comment below, let me know, and thanks for watching.